All right, so this is going to be the last question, and then each of you, you can answer short, one word if you want, and then we'll take your closing statements. I'm going to start with you, Assemblyman Wright. If elected to Congress, should there be a amendment on every federal bill with regard to monies for local and state policing that requires body cameras for local and state police?
Yes, absolutely. You know, our current congressperson, Charles Rangel, has been famous for what they call in Washington the Rangel Amendment. Whatever the bill is, he'll put on his amendment so that it will have to have some impact for the folks that he's been concerned about all over this country, but particularly here in Harlem. And so, yes, I've already done it. I have introduced the bill in the New York State Assembly regarding body cameras on police officers. And it's going through the various channels, various committees. So that's, as I said before, the things that I've done here in the state of New York, I want to continue and expand on a national level. So the short answer is yes, I've done it and I want to do it.
All right, Mr. Powell.
Yes, absolutely we need body cameras, but we need access to the video footage. Unfortunately, in the NYPD, they all have body cameras, but they don't want to show us what it is that they're taping. It is wrong. When I was in the State Assembly, I think we need more transparency. When I was in the State Assembly, I introduced a bill, which of course was opposed by every law enforcement from Buffalo to Long Island to Montauk, to actually videotape interrogations. Not just the actual confession, which is the videotape these days, but the interrogation leading up to the confession. And I gotta be honest with you, I modeled this because of what happened with the Central Park 5. And the first state to do this, by the way, was the state of Illinois by, guess who? Then State Senator Barack Obama. Again, we should videotape the beginning of the interrogation. We should start with a body camera from the time a person is stopped and apprehended. Absolutely.
All right, Mr. Gallagher.
Yes, I believe that we should demand that. The federal government is well within its rights to demand certain contractual obligations, but as Adams just said, what we really need is enforcement of what would be open data. Right now, if you were stopped in the street and my friend was with me, they could videotape the whole episode, despite what police might tell you, which is that you're not allowed to do that. It's entirely untrue. So this kind of activity, it needs to be part of open data that the city government and the state government demands is accessible to everyone, just like everything else, just like documents. There's no reason for any of this video to not be seen almost immediately. Any pedestrian stop, any kind of activity that they are involved in transparency demands that it be available to the public. So I think without that kind of enforcement, without that kind of provision to insist that the money will be taken away from you if you don't accede to open transparency laws, it will just be secrets. They'll hide things from us, even though everybody's wearing a camera. So yes, I would do it, but I think enforcement is the rule.
All right, Ambassador Cook.
I worked for the New York City Police Department for 21 years as a department chaplain. And so I knew the headquarters, I knew the war rooms, I know the power of a camera, that even while they're in headquarters, they can see what's happening in Times Square. That's why they can take care of those cartoon figures. They know right now who's squeezing who right now. So I know the power of a camera. So we need to certainly enforce the laws with the police officers who are on the beat, wearing the cameras. But we also should sit with, everybody has a national organization. There's a national organization for mayors. There's also a national organization for those in law enforcement. And I think that they should sit also with congresspersons if they are not going to do it and tell us why or why not.
Right, but you would use the power of the purse string to attach
Without question.
Okay.
Without question.
Mr. Williams?
I think it's more than just about body cameras, which I would support. I think it's about having a real conversation in our community about how the police actually police our community very differently than the communities that are white. And we need to have a real conversation about what our expectations should be, about what we want to see happen in our community overall. I believe that most police officers get up every single day and they go to work trying to do what's right. There's some that are bad. But I think a lot of times, because we don't have real dialogue about what we think should happen in our community in a compelling and real way, there's so much miscommunication, so much mistrust. that we can't do what is necessary in order to make certain that we have a better relationship with the police department. Because I can assure you, everybody in this room, if they were to get in trouble, the first thing somebody's attacking them, they'd like to see a police officer. And so we need to figure out how we have that debate in a real profound way.
Assemblyman Linares.
I believe that we need to have cameras across the country, but I also believe that we need to take very seriously the training that needs to take place. I think we have to have strict measure of accountability, particularly those who carry the cameras, so that you know, when your action cannot be interfered with if you're a police officer. Because you know that you don't control the camera. The camera is there to record your actions and what you do. And what you do is really fulfill your mission to be a peace officer, then that you will be rewarded. But I believe in really building trust between police and community, because at the end of the day, that's what we're pursuing. This is just one additional measure that will bring more transparency and also accountability.